Hey Zoopsters, Divinus here. Today I have a very special video for you guys which I've been working on for quite some time now. I was inspired to produce this video mostly because of a constant spam I receive daily from subs who are curious about how many points they need to reach top 5% for either the 2-day event or the weekly. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't dislike spam, but I do feel that this issue needs to be addressed. A while back there was a Zooba survey where you guys primarily voted to know the scores of events during the event. However, Zooba staff seemed to have misplaced their reading glasses at the end of the survey as they chose to release the data after the end of the event. Regardless, your boy Divinus is here for you. So let's jump into this Google Doc, which by the way will be public for anyone to observe and download. You champs are free to edit this as you please, and I will be constantly updating this as events are finished. Quick note, these are my scores for the events. I did not record every bit of data because sometimes I forget things. Also, due to the lack of data, it will be hard to predict with accuracy what is the minimum range for top 5%, but we will have a general idea. I also hope you guys can send me your data, which must include your points before the event has ended, the point system, and your rankings after the event has finished. Here is my raw data. As you can see, I have achieved many times top 5%, and I noticed a few interesting patterns with my limited data. Right off the bat, 2-day events are generally like sprints, where the weekly event is more like a marathon. We can observe this by taking the means for each category. The 2-day event mean is 12,712.8 divided by 2, giving us 6,356.4 points. The 7-day event mean 35,204.8 divided by 7 gives us 5,029.26 points. That is roughly a 1,300 point difference, equivalent to a 26% increase from the 7-day event to the 2-day event. Let's evaluate the 2-day graph and see what we can discover as we have more instances of data. Top 1% data seems to be fairly consistent as far as event points are concerned. We have 2 occurrences where achieving 17,000 points plus would reach top 1%. But there is an outlier where I get rank 23 with only 14,000 points. Let's dive in to find out why. The first difference is Slayer type of event. Slayer type 2 offers 2 more points for every kill. However, this would not be the reason I earn less points compared to the other Skippy event. Instead, it is most likely because the other Skippy event is combined with a crate event, and it is very likely that I would have earned an average of 2,000 points or more per day opening crates, as I have earned 30,000 points in a day during a silver event, which would mean an average of 4,300 points per day. Moving on, top 2% seems to be fairly similar regardless of the event type, which is pretty fascinating. But I do notice something very interesting. I reached 14,000 points in a prior 2-day event on May 5th and managed to get rank 23, top 1%. However, for the similar score, I reached top 2%. I believe this is because the reward for May 7th included a guaranteed new hero. This reward is very much sought after, which most likely caused players to play more to be granted the reward. Another interesting note, you see at the bottom I reached top 5% twice with a trophy and silver event. The difference seems to be for one of the events, there were bonus points obtained for reaching ranks 1, 2, and 3 in a game. Let's move on to the weekly events now. Honestly, I need much more data to really offer anything credible. Everything I am about to say to you right now, just as before, is my opinion, but let's dive in anyway. Thus far, I have only collected 5 data points for weekly events. What is a little sad is that none of those data entries give an idea for what the bottom is. Also, some players actually share their accounts, which means their accounts are 24/7 active, which makes reaching top 1% or even rank 1 incredibly difficult. Also, this implies that the range for top 1% to rank 1 can be incredibly large. Based on the data observed, all I can truly suggest for you right now is that reaching 30,000 for a weekly event will most likely grant you top 5%, as I have consistently done so. As a reminder, there are so many variables to consider. There are many different types of events which have different requirements onto how to obtain points. Also, the data that I share with you reflect a range between top 1% to top 5%. I'm not for certain yet what might that bottom top 5% be, as I generally never hit 10% for 2-day or weekly events. Another relevant piece of information that I did not record is how much time I play every day on Zooba. Basically, the list goes on, and any statistician who reviews this work will agree that more data is required to produce a model. But I'm gonna be honest here guys, this model will never be perfect, as some public data is not available, such as player base and activity. As the player base increases, the minimum requirement to reach top 5% for events will most likely decrease as more players will finish their milestones. In a future video, I will attempt to normalize the scores to produce a better model, but I promise it will never be perfect. Even I am skeptical of this work. Finally, I would like to thank my girlfriend Zhao for helping produce these graphs. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to send me your data and like and subscribe as well.